Living on the Fleurieu Peninsula is awe-inspiring. We live in such a richly diverse ancient land. To think that if we stood in this cove 100,000 years ago, it would most likely have looked the same. The landforms and rocks have not changed for thousands of years. We often walk these tracks gathering reference material for our practice. On some occasions we like to explore as a group of artists to inspire us all to look closer at the land we live in.
Memories of straw, it's done in that style where it's kind of a two perspective, where you look on the horizon and you can see a storm brewing on a beach. That was a memory from Middleton Beach, actually, down here in South Australia. But the painting goes all the way back to when I was 9. I was a child in England, and myself and my siblings at the end of summer would collect all the hay in the fields behind our house, and we'd put it together and make these small little haystacks, and the three of us would just run and jump and spin and land on our backs. And I can recall looking up into an English summer sky, and that's one of the elements that you see in the painting.
This painting sits in the magical realism genre, and Martin and I came up with the concept of this little time dragon and Lady Ursula, and the time dragon travels through time and takes Lady Ursula with him, sometimes in the wrong direction.
So this little book, I've just got, I think, 6 pages. And Tessa Appendix 6. And I'm thinking, I can always add more, just undo this and add some more. I'm just thinking about making more. But with the 6 pages, I figured that it would open, and I'm not sure of the height of the plinth, but I'd like to feel like you could walk around and look in. In particular, now that I'm living on the Fleurieu, it's the surroundings of this area. It's very beautiful, and I like those kind of rolling hills that we have. It's not mountainous or anything, but it's not flat either, and I like depicting that, and all the back roads that I sort of go and explore. So I'm out and about a bit, and I take a lot of photographs, and then sometimes it's from the photos, sometimes it's just like the memory of the travelling I did, and sometimes it's just a blank canvas and I don't know where it's going to go, it just evolves.
This painting is a girl running through a field of poppies, and the poppies represent the fallen soldiers in the Battle of the Somme, and the girl wearing white is representative of the angel, and she's collecting those fallen souls. And eventually I will be putting a flock of corellas into the background here, and that's as you know, a corella is not native to Flanders or to France, but it represents the Australian soldiers that have fallen and the souls that they represent in flight. And the whole thing is called Auburn Fire 1916, which is a shout out to the Battle of the Somme in the First World War.
It comes from very deep inside me, basically. It's my subconscious expressing itself, and it's quite good at sort of a self. You can you in a way, you're expressing your feelings over time, at the time. And like I said, it's unpredictable and it's very experimental style of painting. They call it abstract expressionism, you know, and in America it's quite big, painting like that. You never know, you start and you never know what you're going to end up with. And people very often ask, when is it finished? And basically that's an instinctual thing as well. You know when it's finished. And sometimes what I do, to create texture, I put sand on it. I've even put salt, bath salts on it, and it creates a texture. Or you can throw paint, a loose paint, to make like little particles resting on it. I have as well inserted lace and hessian to make it, and very often I tell my friends, touch it. It's a very tactile form of painting.
With collage, I like to take commercial images and subvert them. There's so much energy, so much time and so much creative energy put into commercial images. They're there to sell you things, to make you feel better, to convince you that if you wear this particular dress, you're going to be beautiful, you're going to be happy. If you take that holiday, you'll have friends. It's not necessarily so, of course. So to take those commercial images and subvert that commercial message, I like to do that. I think it's the best thing we can do with advertising, really. And I use an analogue collage purely, also called cut and paste collage, different from digital collage. I don't print images. I don't scan them and reduce the size of them or change the colour of them. I limit myself entirely to found images, and I become quite submissive to that in a way. It's the images that create the end result. In some ways it's almost not me. I'm just there with the scissors and the knife and the glue stick. And it's like watercolour in a way. With watercolour, there's a point where it's going to do what it's going to do, whether you like it or not, and you just have to work with it. Collage is a bit the same. And using those found images also helps me to create things I never would have thought to create otherwise. I never would have thought to draw these things. I never would have had those pictures in my head. But combining them in different ways gives an outcome that it kind of belongs to them in a way. I'm just there putting it all together.